Number 7, you got to guard your money against loss. Now, the thing we got to watch for here is anything that takes money away from us. You know, you can lose money through neglect, not paying attention. I believe, the dating is for me, and one of the big sources of lost funds. I believe that not paying attention, getting, stealing and robbing. Some of the things we got to understand, when men do crime, it actually devastates your financial future. When men get locked up and get charged with cases and have to go to court, it devastates your economic ability. Stealing, shortcuts, these are all things that cause men to be poor. There's so many guys that have been taught that taking shortcuts and being slick and scamming people and getting down on people is the way to go. When you're a home invader and you're breaking in people's house and you're stealing other people's stuff, these are the way to end up poor. That's a poor man act. Stealing is a poor man act. Whether you're Bernie Madoff or whether you're the local guy that's breaking in somebody's house that went to work. Being a thief is a male law of devastation. Bernie Madoff stole billions of dollars from people. Family lost his life, lost his wife, lost his health, and he's locked up. Couldn't been worth it. It cannot be worth it. The law of male success is meaning that all I do, I can enjoy. You can't live a good life as a thief, selling drugs, robbing people. That's not a good life. That someone always wants to take it from you or wants to get you locked up. When you earn, you have to learn to protect what you have. So guarding your money against loss, anything that God gives to us that we get blessed with, you got to learn to protect it. And that's family, your wife, your kids. You got to learn to protect them. You got to learn how to protect them. And a lot of times where you go to good schools protects your kids. A good neighborhood, which costs money, protects your kids. A good car protects your kids. Good clothing protects their self-esteem and makes them feel good about themselves. It's something we have got to learn as men. Learning how to guard against loss and protecting which we've been given is a principle of success. Stealing is a shortcut. Robbing is a shortcut. Whenever you get involved in crime, you are on your way to poverty. You can only steal but for so long. But the thing is, this the law of the earth always catch you. So yes, you steal, but even if you don't get caught, poverty has come into your life and it will show up in other areas that will eventually get to your pocket. Guard your money against loss is a major law of male success. Own the property in which you live. I believe all men have to own a house. I wish I had been taught this. It took me years to get I remember I was in my mid-20s. I was trying to buy my own house. No one encouraged me to do it. I was ready. I was in position. No one prepared me for that process. When I finally did get a house, the process I went to was just it was almost brutal. Credit and getting evaluated. Did you pay your taxes? Where did you get the money from? And I'm like, wow. First house I got, it was given to me. By default. It wasn't something that was supposed to be given to me. It was my parents' home. It was given to me by default. My mother had died. My father had became ill, so I had to step in. My mother asked me to step in. Everything was signed over to me, and so it was my decisions to make with the property. After that, my next home situation, I had to clear up years of neglect. So we got to understand that every man's got to own his own home, but you got to be put on a path for home ownership right out the gate. Learning how to take care of a house and learning how to own a house and get property in your name is a key critical principle of financial success. The place you live in has got to be a place you own or control the rights to. It's a male principle of success. Where you live must be yours. It must be an investment. It must be something that you own. All men have to have their own house. It's ethically violation to go live with a woman. And even if you guys are getting married, I advise you do not go live in her house, even if her house is better. Men have to own their own property. Everything you do in life has to be towards owning your own property, owning where you live at. It is a male law of success. You have to own, have to get in position from the start of your life as a young man. You got to understand how important your credit is and get in position to own the property where you live. Every man has got to have his own home. And number 9, you have to ensure future earnings. This is a really, really, really key principle here. Because what future earnings are about here is the fact that every man has the task of leaving an inheritance. Every man has the task of ensuring that you can send your kids to college cash, that your kids are not waiting on the government or President Obama or President Romney to solidify your financial future. If Democrats are not in office, my kid can't go to school. First of all, as a man, I don't want nobody else doing nothing for my kid, in terms of it's not anyone else's job to take care of my kids or do anything for my kids. And I have one rule: I'm not taking care of anybody else's kids. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Because the thing is, particularly, no, we're not talking about somebody whose dad is deceased. You know, I have nieces and nephews whose father is deceased. That's different. That's totally different. But people, your daddy's alive and somewhere out here, it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm not letting a man off the hook. All of us as men, if we make these kids, we got to take care of our own kids. And listen, don't come to me. The best man law of success, financial success, is you got to ensure future earnings, because the future earnings has to be there in that process of making sure your kids can go to college and you can take care of it. The other part of it is we all as men have a law. It's a law of financial success, is to develop an inheritance. My kids have more money now than I had as a 30-year-old man. I'm very proud of that. It's like almost the proudest thing in my life outside of my marriage and the progress I've made as a man. It's our job to make sure our kids have something transitioned for them in the future. Are you leaving a financial legacy or a financial mess? As a man, it is your job to make sure that your kids have something when you leave. Being wisely responsible about insurance and about saving is a male law of financial success. Men who neglect the responsibility of caring for their kids in the present and the future will always be broke. This is how you'll have an athlete who makes millions who goes broke, didn't take care of his kids. You got a guy out here who made $180 million in his playing career, is flat broke, got a $50,000 job. Why? He's got all these kids out here and he didn't take care of them. And poverty will come on you. It is a law of success. It is the law of prosperity. You must take care of those you're responsible for. It is a law of economic death to have kids and a family out here and you did not provide. You did not economically make sure their life was better. You made that family. You got the girl pregnant, so you got to take care of her. That's game. That's how it goes. And it's nothing you can say to me. Listen, it's do I like it? No. But dude, that's the difference between being a man. And if you don't want to be a man, then take that up with God and your parents. I don't have nothing to do with that. Flat out. You have to. And if you get that girl pregnant and you do that mess, then listen, if she's got your kid, you're going to have to make sure she okay too. Do you want the person that got your kid and taking care of your kid cash strapped and broke? I always say, think this stuff through, man. Listen, just in this analogy, if you got a babysitter or somebody watching your kid, and they've been watching them for 10 hours, and you know they haven't ate, and you like, okay, I'm going to bring my kids some food, and I'm going to bring my kids 4-piece Happy Meals, with fries with no salt and apple juices. But I got the sitter. I'm not going to get them anything to eat. What's going to happen to those 4-piece nuggets? A few nuggets are going to end up missing. That sitter's going to just find a few nuggets and say, you guys aren't going to eat that. Sneak one in there. Why? Because you got to take care of the person that's looking out for your kid. Now, see, a lot of guys have so much malice against their baby mama, they not thinking straight. But the quickest way to go broke is to get into these little economic beefs with these baby mamas. Now, the thing is, if you went and chose some little knucklehead that's economically motivated to take all your money, then that's shame on you. This is what we're talking about in this process, about the marriage mind. Business thinking in all situations. Dude, that's on you. But you better learn how to negotiate with her, too, to get her off your back. You're not going to punk her into getting off your back. You're going to have to learn how to work with her and negotiate with her to get her to work with you and take care of her. Calm her down. It's business. Ensuring future earnings is important. And being able to provide an inheritance for your kids and paying for your kids to go to college and their daycare and the places they go to learn, these extracurricular activities, these camps and these places that they go, that's a daddy's job. That's a law of success. And you want to see a guy that's not successful? Show me a guy that doesn't do it, doesn't invest in it, doesn't know it's important. Your money's always going to be dead. If you live in selfish and be like, I ain't got it, well, you can't do it, you're going to have to do this, don't worry about it, only eat one piece of chicken, daddy only got enough of that. Where's the growth in you? Are you raising somebody? You're raising somebody who's going to do the same thing you did. Man, law of success is being able to ensure future earnings to make sure your kids can have the life they deserve. Now, once again, men that do that, they daddy didn't give that to them. So they're bitter. You know what I'm saying? They're bitter. One thing about my father, he did a lot of things wrong, but he did a lot of things right. And my daddy wasn't cheap. My daddy spent money and invested money to do things with us. Vacations, wrestling matches, basketball games. That's respect, man. Because of those experiences groomed me and they gave me a paradigm and a perspective of why things should happen. Yeah, he had a lot of other issues, but some things he got right. And that's one thing he got right. Wasn't cheap. Didn't try to steal the dreams from the kids, and keep kids broke. What kind of father are you? And the kids resent you. They hate you when you do that. You teaching your kids poverty or you teaching your kids wealth? Ensure future earnings. I believe that gives you the opportunity to teach them and give them wealth.